All right, good morning. It is definitely time to react. Oklahoma defeats Cincinnati in Cincinnati on Saturday, 22-6. And there's a lot of things we got to break down here on the morning after. And so we're going to dive into that and, kind of nitpick while at the same time being as fair as possible. Because here on Unfair Sports, we like to take a pensive approach to the sports conversation and make sure that we're being as fair as possible. Before we do that, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jay. Let's dive into Cincinnati, Oklahoma. And there's three things I want to start off with. And a lot of y'all are not going to be happy with what I say throughout this video. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that disclaimer right now. But this is something I want y'all to understand. Three things. Number one, this defense is real. We're going to dive into why. Number two, Oklahoma is not only playing against the team that's on the field they see each week. Keep that in mind too. And number three, this offense is as potent as you think it is. It ain't perfect, but it is as potent as you think it is. So let's jump into it. You know what? I'm feeling froggy. Let's go to the best part of the day. Let's talk about this defense, right? So I'm sitting on this couch watching this game. I'm asking myself questions like, is this Oklahoma defense real? I gotta stay on the side of caution. I'm a cautious optimist. But when I watch them play, be honest, I'm shocked. I'm shooketh. Cannot believe that I'm seeing this type of defense from the Sooners, something I have not seen since 2011. This is a real defense. So I tweeted this out, and a lot of y'all obviously liked it because I got a whole bunch of likes out of it. But Cincinnati came into this game averaging, listen to these numbers, 525 yards per game total, 286 yards passing, 239 yards rushing, 39 points per game. This defense held them to 376 yards, 235 yards passing, 141 yards rushing, and only 6 points. This defense is for real. They went from 39 points per game to 6. And of course, there's some inflation in there from some of the games when they scored, 66 points. But Cincinnati they had 24 against Miami of Ohio last week. They finished with 6 today. We're doing what we're supposed to do defensively. And traditionally in these videos, I try to keep them about 10 to 15 minutes because it's a morning after, a lot to break down. We may go longer today, but the goal is not to. I want to keep y'all focus with me. So stay with me in this. All right. Let's go position to position. Defensive line was eating. They were eating. The pressures were up. They were all over Emory Jones. Emory Jones couldn't work the way he wanted to. He threw away a lot of passes in this game. And I think the thing that jumped out to me the most was, he was 22 for 41. Yeah, that, traditionally sounds like, okay, that's not too bad of a game. That's 53%. That's freaking good. And Cincinnati's defense, they hold teams to 45% completion percentage. That's how solid their defense actually is. We'll talk about how our offense did on that in a minute. But Emory was 53%, 53.7 to be exact, 5 yards per pass, no touchdowns, 2 picks. The fact that we have not given up a touchdown on the ground this season, I'm going to have a whole video breaking down the stats from the last 4 games for y'all. But the beauty is we're 4-0, and it's because of this defense. Offense is doing their part, but the defense is really holding this down, and that's what you want. That is the recipe for a championship team. They say offenses win games, defenses win championships. You got to be able to stop that other team. You're going to go score. Our offense is going to score, but defense got to stop people. Defensive line was getting all the pressure you needed. Overall, I saw a stat, I think it's Joy Storia from Sooner Scoop posted that we played 30 different defensive players in this game. What does that tell you we've got? Competitive depth. Got to take a drink every time you hear it. So that should get y'all excited. The defense is dominant. Linebackers, Stutzman, Kanik were all over the place. Hopefully Kanik is better. It sounds like he is, at least from the hospital. He traveled back with the team. Sounds something like with his chest. He got exhausted, passed, fell to the ground, was spitting up blood supposedly. So the way it sounds, he checked out. He's back here, and it sounds like he'll be ready to play next week. Hopefully it was just dehydration or something, or just extreme exhaustion. But he played his butt off to start the game. First half, Kanik was everywhere, and he was everywhere you wanted him to be. Like, he was sniffing out plays quick. That tells me there's a lot of growth in him. Stutzman, Buckets Award winner. I don't care what anybody says. Find me a better linebacker. Stutzman, Buckets. Period. He's out here. And unfortunately, when he wins his Buckets, we ain't going to see him again. Because he better go to the draft. I would yell at him. I would not allow him to do a Jared Verse. He's going to go to the draft. Your butt gone. First round, leave. Make your money. Do your thing. But 13 total tackles, 7 solos, a sack, and 3.5 tackles for loss. Let's get into that part. 7 tackles for the loss in this game. I promise you, we're going to lead the nation in tackles for the loss before, I'd say by the Texas game, we'll probably lead the nation in it. So that's in like one more week. Because right now, we're cooking. We're cooking on the defensive side. The biggest stat that jumped out to me the most, though, in this game, before I jump into the secondary, 3 for 15 on third down conversions, 1 for 4 on fourth down. We forced 3 4 and outs, and we only gave up 3 converted third downs. What more can be said about this defense? And I'm being honest. Hop in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, what more can you say about this defense? This is what y'all wanted. We wanted a defense to go out and win like this. They held them to 6 points. Did everything we asked them to. This defense is everything we wanted. Now, the good thing is we held on to it for 4 straight games. Now let's see if we can do it for 5 straight games and then the elusive 6 straight games. If we can get 6 straight games of this type of defense, playoffs. I'm buying into the hype at that point. 6 straight games of really good defense like this, holding our opponents to way under their averages, buying into the playoffs. Next thing, last thing that jumped out to you, boy. Got them 2 turnovers. Now, there was a battle on the interwebs as we go into the secondary. First off, Key Lawrence, chef's kiss on that interception. He read the play immediately. I rewatched it twice, and I was looking at him like, you could see Key and Woody look at the sideline. They made some comments, and it looked like Key said something to Woody, and Woody moved back into the inside shoulder of the wide receiver. And Key started to back up into that cover 2. And as soon as that happened, Woody stayed man. Key followed, and he just watched Emory Jones' eyes, and Emory just telegraphed it right to him. And Key said, yep, it's mine. And Woody was going to break up the pass regardless, but Emory was literally read right there in that play. Beautifully done. The secondary did a really good job. Bakari, Seatbelt Vickers, my boy, looking good out there, stepping in for Woody, giving him some breaks. And I think we saw Josiah Wagner had a sighting of him. So, love it. That's defense. I didn't want to go too far into it because, like I said, I could literally talk 12, 20 minutes on just the defense itself, just how good they were. McCullough, 1 busted play, and I think he learned from it really quickly because he did recover well from the rest of the game from there, keeping the tight end in front of him instead of trying to, he basically bumped into a wide receiver, which was kind of a rub play. That was by design. The design was to hit the guy defending the tight end. That's why he went up the sideline. So, hop in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about that defense. What you think. 376 yards total in this game. Gave up 21 first downs, but we helped them to 3 of 15 in third. Y'all should be excited about that. Now, let's talk about the offense. And so, Q1 was not a good quarter for the offense. Dylan Gabriel with the fumble, a couple missed passes. So, he had 3 passes that everyone jumps all over him for. I gave him grace on 2. One of them was all on him. The Jalil Farouk pass. I had a buddy hit me up in Discord, one of the groups that I'm in, and he pointed out, he's like, I was at the game, and you could tell that Farouk let up on that route. Because as soon as after that route was over, he ran straight to the sideline, came out the game. And I think it was exhaustion. He had ran like a couple plays before that. He was going. And so when your player's tired, he's like, shoot, I ain't got it. If Dylan Gabriel had lightened up on that pass, probably would have been a catch. But it felt like he was throwing it to Andrell Anthony or Jaden Gibson or even Nick Anderson and not Farouk. Because I always felt like Farouk is not the fastest. He's the shiftiest. Reminds me of Peter Warrick. Say it all the time. And somebody else mentioned, I was on the Fanatic show last night, and he said, kind of have like a Keenan Allen feel. Could see that. But he reminds me of Peter Warrick with his shiftiness. But he ain't the fastest. He looked tired. Came out. That was that one. The second pass, when he was throwing it to Blake Smith, there was 3 defenders there, and it felt like he was just throwing the ball away because nobody was really open. Now, Gibson was following him, but there was still 3 defenders right there. And so I give grace on that one. But that Jaden Gibson pass in the corner, if he would have hit him in the face mask, just as Joe Clapp mentioned, that's touchdown. That was on Dylan. Now, Dylan's got to get better about not overthrowing the receivers. He's got to do a better job of getting more accurate while at the same time throwing the ball 26 for 38 in the game for 322 yards. I mean, I can't really complain too much when he was 68% completion percentage in the game, something y'all like. Now, granted, I know we're used to him going 80%. We got to do better about that, but at the same time, he's 68%. What can I be mad about, right? Like I said, y'all not going to be happy with everything I say because I have no problem with defending Dylan Gabriel on that one. He wasn't awful. He missed on a couple plays. He wasn't awful, but every quarterback does that. Y'all are going to complain the same about Jackson Arnold because I will. I will nitpick Jackson Arnold just like I'm nitpicking Dylan Gabriel. But at the same time, like I said, he did it. And the one thing I did like Levy did, he had some design runs for Dylan Gabriel. Duke and scoot. He didn't run much last year because we had no depth. We had no competitive depth to allow him to run because he gets injured. Guess what? We ain't got no quarterback. We got Jackson Arnold this year, and I think General Booty's a little bit more ready this year than he was last year. Jackson Arnold can come in if we lose Dylan Gabriel. Now, granted, we don't want the freshman playing immediately, while at the same time, some of you are already calling for him. Dylan Gabriel's out there putting up numbers. 322 yards and a tutty. My question is a run game. I don't know what the heck Levy is doing. I don't know why we didn't see Salchuka Barnes. Now, granted, I assume that they're still working them in because of injury. Remember, they were banged up in the fall, hamstring, which soft tissue issues can usually linger, and then Barnes had the foot surgery. But I don't know. I don't know what his plans are. Now, when we had Marcus Major running in gap schemes instead of going on those inside zones constantly, he started to pick up some yards. Same thing with Tyree. I don't know why Levy feels like inside zone is what he needs to run because it ain't working. We need to stop it. And I need to I guess I need to donate cleats or something to the team or some longer ones because we kept slipping. Woody had a slip on defense. Luckily, the pass was bad by Emory, so it was a missed pass. And then we had the slip by Marcus Major on like 4 or 5 runs. Yeah. Got your boy a little crazy there. So, but overall, Andrew Anthony is our number 1 wide receiver, 7 catches for 117 yards. He is a monster. We have been blessed with a really, 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 really good receiver. Can't be mad at it, right? Offense was still humming, though. I can't complain. There's a lot of complaints I can nitpick on, but there's no reason to nitpick on it. Why? This offense did everything y'all would typically want. 425 yards, touchdown. And we played a really good Cincinnati defense. Remember, Corleone's expected to go pro. Corleone and Jawan Briggs. Hell, Clatt was saying they think that they're the best D-line combo in the Big 12, if not in college football. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. That's not from me. That's from an analyst. And I actually like Joe Clatt a lot. A lot of y'all do too. Y'all actually like him. He said that Cincinnati's defensive line is one of the best in the country. So, as much as I want to complain and get mad, doesn't do much for us, right? We did an okay job. Now, granted, we could have done better. Now, here comes the nitpickiness of me from this offense. Those Dylan Gabriel passes should be better. The offensive line was okay. Troy Everett just wasn't getting it like I was hoping. But at the same time, it was his first time, first real time playing for us. Like really, really getting out there as a starter and really going. And he played against a good defensive line. I mean, what more can you ask for, right? We didn't really we gave up 2 sacks in the game. We got 2 sacks. We gave up 2 sacks. Overall, I'm happy. I'm satisfied. 20-6 is a score that I would like to see a lot more of. Now, I know all of y'all are going to be saying, Jay, why we only scored 20 points? That's terrible. Cincinnati's horrible. Cincinnati's not a bad team. They're not great either, but they're not a bad team. The other thing behind that is that I like when the score is 20-6 rather than 35-24. Catch my drift? Or 35-20. I prefer 20-6 over 35-20 any day of the week. Give me that every single day of the week. Because that means that our defense was doing stuff and our offense was doing enough to make sure the defense could do their job. We had 30 players play on the defense side of the ball. The offense did not get to hold the ball very long because, things could happen. We were scoring quick or we get out of quick. So we need to do a better job of converting on some downs. But we were 6 for 16 on third, which is actually pretty good. We're doing a lot better in that capacity than we were before. Last year, we weren't very good on third down conversions. We're getting a lot better at that. And so that's a growth piece. That's something that I can say we're getting better at, and hopefully we do better long term. And so there's a lot of other takeaways in this game. We're trying to force feed Austin Stogner. I hate it, but at the same time, you kind of got to get your tight ends involved because it's needed in order to open up everything for the wide receivers. And the one thing to wrap all of this up for you all is this. I know that we like to bag on Dylan Gabriel. He's not Jackson Arnold. He's not the guy that we're used to. He's a solid quarterback with a good defense. He can lead you to a playoff game. He can even lead you to a championship bid. Dylan Gabriel has a lot of mouths to feed. And all we're going to do is nitpick on him, who he's throwing it to, and how many times they're getting the ball. We need to get Jalil Farouk involved more. We also need to make sure Andrew Anthony gets about 10 catches a game, or at least 5, because the man's a monster. 7 for 17, he did it. We also got to get G Freaky and Stoops out and open because they make some magic happen. They're just great catchers. We also need to get the ball to Nick Anderson because Nick Anderson is a budding star that we're going to see. He's going to be a star for this team, period. Hands down, full stop. Same thing with Jaden Gibson. He's starting to get the confidence that we want. He's looking confident and he's catching passes. So we got to figure out how to get him the ball. Oh, yeah, we got to throw the ball to our running backs out of the backfield because Marcus Major's really good in open field as well as Gavin Sawchuk whenever he's playing. He can make moves. You see where the struggle comes in here? We have a lot of mouths to feed, and we're doing a really good job of getting it and distributing. We just got to find a way to get certain players into open space and let them work their magic. I think Jalil Farouk is definitely the one we got to do that for. But he had 2 catches, 45 yards. I want more. Andrew Anthony, 49-yard catch. Whew. We need to do more of that. But overall, 12 yards per catch. Can't complain about that. So, that's my morning after report, my morning after thoughts after rewatching the game and running things through my brain, hopping in the comments. Let your boy know how you thought, what you think about it. Tried to make sure going to 20 minutes, and we didn't make that. But, hey, all that matters is we talked about it. If you made it this far and you like the content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I've got a couple of tickets to the Iowa State game coming up. We're going to mention it also on the live stream tonight at 6 o'clock Central Time. Make sure you join us. But I got a couple of tickets to give away. That includes tailgating tickets as well as parking pass. So 2 tickets to both and a parking pass for the Iowa State game on Saturday night. Thanks to one of our great members, Eric. He threw it down, supports the channel, and he said, hey, I got a couple of tickets I want you to give away on the show. So we're going to do it. Got them loaded up on my phone, ready to send to someone. And so, if you are interested in that, I'm going to create a post in the community. If you're not subscribed to this channel, you better subscribe. Hit the bell notification. When I make this post, you'll see it. We're also going to talk about it on the live stream so y'all can have a chance to win. I'm going to figure out how this contest is going to go, but I'm going to get these tickets out by Wednesday is my goal. So, thanks for pulling up to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button as well as subscribe. If you're not new, hit the like button and share. Why? Because sharing is caring. And YouTube says watch one of these videos. I highly recommended it because I made it for you, the people. So, we'll chop it up soon. Peace.